Hello Deadheads, welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time new Deadheads. First, let me say, let's go Chiefs! How about those Chiefs? So anyways, congratulations to the Chiefs for yet another AFC championship. Looking forward to seeing if the Lions or the 49ers will be the opponent in the Super Bowl. I want to give mad props and respect to Baltimore. Again, I have been a fan of the Chiefs for 30 plus years. I've watched many games end exactly like Baltimore's just in, where we were #1 in the season, had the best record. We should have went somewhere and didn't. So I know how you feel. Anyways, today we're doing a short video on what may be the most awful ergonomics ever in a machine. This one right here. This came from China off of AliExpress. So let's do a little unboxing and take a look at it, and maybe you'll see why I say that this is probably the worst ergonomic handheld I've ever used. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Now, we've looked at a few of these Powerbank handheld gaming combos previously. So this is yet another unit that combines the ability to charge a device while at the same time having a little retro gaming going on. So I'll say that first of all, I like this box. So this is nice. I think the packaging is pretty good here. Higher cost, performance, more extreme experience. We'll get to that in a second. Right here, I don't know, can't translate, so I don't know if that's some kind of name. Leave me a comment if you know what that says. Let me zoom in here. I do see stunning, cool, start the game. So pretty confident here, start the game. And then we have the model, which is the Dy14, a 10,000 milliamp hour backup battery. It's got type C, USB-A on there, and a lightning port, which is cool. 4,000 milliamp hour for the gaming part of it. So that's cool. And you can see it can use controllers, charger, and charger devices. So the box is okay. Let's open her up and let's take a look at what we have here. And we've got a manual here. The manual, so this may be completely in a language I don't read or speak. So let's see here. At least it's got pictures. So here we go. Here's some English. So product accessory list, the product directions, rated capacities, maintenance instructions here, announcements if you need to repair, maintenance card. So that's interesting. So pretty basic here. Here's the handheld. What does Dead Fred say, Deadheads, when you see this? So we're not going to expect this machine to do a lot. And it's got a USB-C to USB-A, and that's about it. Now, I should have immediately known from the picture when I ordered this that this was probably not going to be comfortable to hold. Now that I've had this thing and I've been able to hold it, let me just say that this is probably the most uncomfortable ergonomic handheld I've ever seen. I don't know who decided to make it this way. I don't know who decided to shape it this way, but it's just, let me be blunt, it's terrible. It's awful to hold. So right off the bat, I can tell you that is my biggest criticism of this thing. But let's take a look at it here and take a little closer look. And we've got the 6-button configuration, which all these Powerbank consoles seem to be doing, which is okay. We have a reset button here. We have our start button and we have our select button. Okay, so that's not bad. We have our volume up, our volume down. We have a stick, which is not clickable, but it's not a slider, so let me give it points for that. They didn't stick a slider on this. And a D-pad, which is not bad, not terrible. I'm not a fan of these style of D-pads, but I'll say, you know, it's not terrible. On the bottom here, we do have a full USB port. We have a USB-C port. We have a micro SD card. It did come with one. We have a headphone jack, and then another USB-C port. And then on the back here, this is cool. We have our connectors for the power bank, our lightning connector, and our USB-C. We have a little kickstand here. So, and then our speaker port here. Again, my biggest criticism, this thing just sucks to hold, okay? It's just not comfortable. I don't know who would have thought that this would have felt good, and it's just unwieldy. But let's take a look at some gaming, see what it can do, and so we'll be right back. All right, we're back, and let's begin with a little Nintendo. We'll start with some Kid Icarus. This used to be one of my favorite games as a kid, and again, this is just a 2-button, you know, game with the D-pad here, and this is just horrendous to hold. I mean, I don't want to be ugly here, but this just isn't. It's not fun. It's the controls are stiff. It's not comfortable to hold this in any sort of sense. Now, that being said, I will say that it's playing the ROM fine, which is not much of a stretch here since this is, you know, a Famicom game, so it's not really pushing anything here. So you can see that it's definitely, you know, able to play pretty much anything that the Famiclones would play here with no problem. For it, it does have a reset button to where you can go into this menu. I've not been able to figure out how to switch this to English, if there is English, but this right here is where you can load your data, or you can save it. So I can save right there. You can see that it's saved, and you can come back to play it. Right here you can switch around the buttons, or you can go into Power NTSC. So there is, you know, a little bit of functionality, and we've seen something like this, you know, in a previous model of games here. So there, you know, there is that functionality, and then you can go back to your list of games here and go through it. And let's just put in a little bit of Kart Fighter. This is some kind of hack here. Let's see what this is all about. Let's be the turtle. Wow, this is interesting. So, you know, it's got some really, like, you know, not the best selection of ROMs. It's going to have a bunch of hacky stuff in here. And I did try adding my own ROMs, and I could not get it to load those ROMs, so don't really know about that. Again, not a real good documentation here. But let's load up and see if we can do some higher emulation. Let me see if I can get some Game Boy Advance going in this, and we'll be right back. And we're back with some Game Boy Advance, some Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival. I do not expect this D-pad to give me any sort of even, oh, and it already sounds choppy, any sort of good result here with trying to pull off any sort of move here. But let's just see how this does. And we'll just go with Ryu. Let's give it a little turbo. Got a little artifacts there. Huh? That's not doing good. I don't have a whole lot of hope that this is really going to play Game Boy Advance very well. Sounds terrible too. I gotta admit, this is just an awful speaker, so nothing exciting here. Again, holding this thing is just completely janky. Oh, it's running slow. This is, yeah, this is, and no, there is no hope here for me to get off any sort of fireball. So yeah, this is, well, look, I got it off. All right, so, but I've always been better on this side. I actually hit one, so that's amazing. but this is running just terrible. And again, with these non-branded DIY, you know, kind of Famiclone type things, you know, there is no real good software support. There's no ability to change anything here. I can save it, but what good is that? I can move the buttons around, you know, if I wanted to do that. But it's just, you know, let's see if it'll run better in PAL. I doubt it. Don't really have a lot of hope that it's going to run a lot better in the PAL, but I guess that's a little better. But yeah, this is just terrible. And Street Fighter is not a terribly demanding game. You probably could get some simple RPGs. Alright guys, we'll finish up this video. We'll be right back with testing of the Powerbank and final thoughts. Alright guys, so we're back and we're going to do some final thoughts. As I brought up a little bit of Spyro here on the Game Boy Advance, this is playing a bit better, but still choppy. Just not really playable. This is really going to be a Famiclone. It's not going to really play anything really good, and it's terrible to hold. It's just not great. But let's see how it does if we charge, you know, because it is a power bank, and I keep hoping that at some point we'll get one of these units that actually is halfway decent for playing a game, and we'll power it. And so you can see it's powering my phone. Plugged in just fine. Here's our indicator. It's got a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, so it's charging this 42 minutes till full, so that's not bad. So you can see there it is charging it. And again, you know, part of the draw to something like this is that you could charge your phone while you're, you know, playing a game here. But this thing just, this is not it. I'd say out of the ones that we've looked at before, this guy right here, and please check out the video on this guy, is much better for a power bank. This model right here is just a lot better. And then we also had this guy right here from the Game MT people, which was pretty good, this little Apple guy. None of these are great. They're all terrible compared to all the other things we look at on the channel. But as far as, you know, sooner or later somebody's going to get a great handheld, something that feels great to hold, something that's awesome to play with, and actually can also power your device. I think that combination would be good. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video tonight. We've got some great things coming up in the next few weeks, so please stay tuned. We're going to have our Retroid Pocket 4 Pro review this week. I've been putting it through a lot of testing and stuff, and I've got a lot of thoughts on that. And please remember to hit that like button and hit subscribe and hit that notification bell to help us grow. Anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll leave a link in the description to the AliExpress store if you want to try the painful yourself of this. And anyways, you know, we'll be back and see you next time, Deadheads. Dead Fred out.